Welcome back to the Cherry Picking Hockey Podcast. As you can tell, Cole is out with a sickness, and Gianni, it's his birthday, so he took the day off. So congrats to Gianni. Hopefully he's on his couch.
Congrats on another year on birthday.
Another year at OwnersBox, but hopefully, he's having some spaghetti at home, and
It's not another year at OwnersBox.
Yeah, it's his first year.
Yeah, it is his first year. That's completely on me. But we got some new bodies here. Obviously, you guys know Avery. Behind the scenes, he's showing face here, and T-Mac. T-Mac has joined the pod.
Oh, I'm just chopped liver.
And Eddie. Completely forgot about Eddie. He's our actual producer.
They brought in the fourth liners, Colton Orr, Matt Martin, ready to get it done.
What's Eddie? What's Eddie? He's like the equipment manager.
I want to be Fraser McLaren.
All right, listen,
I want to be Fraser McLaren.
Fraser McLaren?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. All right. Talking about sickness, let's talk a little bit about COVID here. Obviously, there's been a huge scare in the NHL. It seems like it's spreading like wildfire right now. And people have been asking on Twitter, a lot of people have been saying that they should start postponing games and that the Olympics chances are very slim right now. Do we think that the Olympics are going to happen?
Yeah. They happened in the summer, right? So I think it'll happen, but the thing is getting high-profile athletes who have a Stanley Cup to play for to go to them. I don't see that happening.
I think if this COVID situation gets so bad in the next week or two, where they're just like, okay, let's take our Olympic break, 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Let's just take our break now. No one goes to the Olympics. Let's save our season, right? Like you can kind of reschedule everything. But like what the Leafs did was so fucked, like just going down to 50%.
Yeah,
So fans.
I wonder, like, everyone's sort of been asking, like, what happens with tickets, and I saw someone tweeted that they think that they're just going to get rid of all the, I guess, the cheapest tickets, which probably is what they're going to do.
What they did is everyone who bought single game tickets, they're all getting refunded and getting their money back, and they're just keeping the season seat holders. So I would assume that wherever the season seat holders have their seats, that's where they'll sit, because, I mean, remember in the summer for us being in Canada with the Jays games of, like, there were COVID protocols per se, but you sat wherever the hell you wanted.
Yeah.
There wasn't space in between people, so they'll do whatever they want, I think, in the actual arenas.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was such an issue, man, with TV deals and stuff like that. And the ESPN deal's new this year, right? With hockey. No way they're like, okay, like we should definitely put a break to this. Like they need their games. They need to make their money.
Yeah, great story, actually. When I was hired, when I was an intern with the Brampton Beast in the ECHL,
great squad.
My first week, what I spent time doing was, how they put they tape the boards with like the advertising or with like an advertiser, they pay for it. First day, just scraping those things off.
Oh my God.
If those things don't come up, like you're talking like your local arena, if they leave those things on for like years and years, they're impossible. But for like the NHL, they just literally just plaster the next one on top of it after every period.
What did they do at the Powerade Center? Do they come off easily or no?
No. You're taking the things that you take the gum out under the desk trying to get.
Are you wearing like?
off.
There's
you're
like
wearing
8
You're not even
Osmos
wearing
ads.
knee pads. I'm guessing your knees are just getting destroyed.
No, what do you mean? It was the first week. I was dressed to the fucking nines. I was ready to impress, and they threw me on the ice.
There's probably
in my dress shoes.
8
Oh my
Osmos
God.
ads on those boards too. They're all the same thing. But you're a COVID guy. What do you think of that?
Oh my God!
I'm a COVID guy.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, I think at some point the NHL's hands can be forced to postpone games. The Olympics, I feel like I'm actually surprised. Like I feel like the NHL don't want their players going to the Olympics, and this is just an excuse to say, hey guys, sorry, like we're not letting you go. But obviously the players really want to go. I mean, you heard what Stamkos said. Did you guys hear his presser?
I didn't hear his presser. I did. What did he say there?
He pretty much said like, give an opportunity, like I'm
Yeah, I
going.
saw
Like
that.
that's what he said, and I'm guessing a lot of people feel that way. Like it means a lot to the players, and I think the NHL sees that, and because obviously they don't want the players going to the Olympics. I mean, it's been obvious for years.
Yeah,
but
it adds no value to their franchise.
hell no,
It makes
it doesn't.
sense.
Yeah, I think I'm surprised the players are still all up for go. Like some of them obviously aren't, but I mean, I get the representing your country thing's a big opportunity for a guy like Stamkos. He might never get to do it again.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, it seems like it'll be a brutal trip.
Yeah, I don't think a break in the NHL season fixes the issues that are happening. Like
No, because they'll see those 2 weeks as a chance to fit in any games that are missed, right?
Yeah.
Not give people a break.
It was the NBA that was really bad last year, right? When they would give teams an outrageous amount of like span of games, and it just got a lot of people hurt.
Yeah,
So
the
I think
Habs were brutal last year, weren't they?
It was no, it was the Canucks, remember? And then
it was the Canucks.
They had that huge scare, and they came back, and they got pretty much fucked over.
I thought their season was kind of over at the time too, and they were playing the Flames.
Yeah. There was a time when the
playoffs.
season was literally done. The games meant nothing, and they were still playing. It
was playoffs. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was really dumb.
It's just like, let's just make sure we get the local TV money. Do you remember their first game back? The Canucks' first game back was the Leafs.
Did they beat them too?
They won. Huge odds. I had to bet them. Massive underdog. That was great.
They talked about that in the All or Nothing. That was like one of the main things was them coming back against the Canucks, I think.
Yeah.
They beat them in overtime, I think.
Yeah, it was overtime. Yeah, I think they were down by 2 in that game too. I think they won 5-4, down 4-2, something like that.
That's
but it's like, nothing's going to change, right? Like if we take this break,
just how
like
it
you
is.
said.
Yeah, it's just how it is. But talking about the Vancouver Canucks, they've been in the news a lot. There's 6-game winning streak right now ever since the Bruce hire. Lots of talk about will they make the comeback and make playoffs. Right now they're like 1 game under 500, and to make the playoffs, like the Oilers in their division are like 4th, and they're at 17-11. So they still have some ground to make, but that's just an extremely talented team in Vancouver. Like everyone, I mean, Gianni had them in the Stanley Cup. Like a lot of people were high on them this year, and their decor is really bad. But the forwards, like they potentially have some of the best forwards in the NHL. You could argue. Like
there's so much talent on that team in that locker room. In net too with Demko.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and Halak even as the backup. Like that's a good duo to have.
I would like to know, being from Ontario, you know how much Calgary fans care about their team. You know how much Edmonton cares about their team, but you don't really hear a lot about the state of Vancouver, right? I've kind of seen a lot of on Twitter. It's like, oh, these fans are pissed. They're like kind of all like irrational and things like that too. So it's interesting to see them kind of rally behind because they don't feel like a fan base that's totally behind the team. But then you look at the Cup Finals when they lost, and they fucking rioted.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wonder how they feel. But Bruce, there it is, right?
Yeah, Bruce, there it is. He's gonna start to actually hate that.
Look, there are
he hates it.
There are 4 coaches in the NHL that you can bring in, and they'll light a fire under their team's ass.
Oh my God.
Rick Carlisle, Bruce Boudreau.
Rick Carlisle?
Yeah.
Is that the guy's name?
Randy, not Rick. Why did I say Rick? Randy Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle's a basketball coach, I think.
Yeah, that's what I probably was thinking. Randy Carlisle, Bruce Boudreau, Daryl Sutter. Holy crap. That guy, look him in the eyes. That dude's terrifying.
Yeah, I would be scared of those 3 guys. I'm trying to think of someone else.
And Torts.
Torts.
Oh, yeah.
Torts,
How does he not have a job yet?
Well,
Yeah.
Guy loves
He's been-
ESPN, right?
He's
Ripping
been just saying controversial shit on ESPN nonstop.
That's
his job. Bro.
Yeah, it's like perfect.
To get clicks.
If you're the owner of a team and that's your head coach saying it kind of every press conference, you're like, don't love this, but if it's his job, it's his job to do that shit. It's like, oh, you're doing awesome, Torts. Just keep going. But they light a fire under their teams in different ways, right? Like Torts is defense, and then Bruce is like, let's get this going on the offensive side of the zone, right?
Yeah.
I think I saw a stat,
Which is a good fit for Vancouver for sure.
and there's like Washington, like the differences between the teams before, like their pace of the season that Bruce took over these teams. I forget the other team he took over. I don't remember.
Who?
There's like Bruce Boudreau. So like he took over Washington, I think, at some point in the season, and their record, like it would change astronomically. Like he is a perfect coach to bring in.
I'm pretty sure he took over the Wild.
Yeah,
I thought he did.
He was with the Wild at one point. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then maybe that was the other team.
Maybe, yeah.
But he's really good coach to bring in midseason.
I mean, he's good. He's old. Holy crap, is he ever old? I didn't know he was that old until you saw him try to get on the ice. It looked like he was about to fall on his ass.
Speaking of Boudreau and Carlisle, it's like those guys played hockey in the NHL.
It's great.
That is crazy.
The picture, I saw a picture of Bruce Boudreau. I'm pretty sure he was on the Leafs, and he was just like hopping over the boards, and his face is hilarious. He is not, like, I'm not a good looking guy, but Bruce Boudreau at the time, also not a good looking guy. And just a hilarious, and him having hair is just really funny to see.
Yeah, so I have not seen these pictures.
Look at some of the old Bruce pictures. They're very funny.
I can only imagine him with hair. It would be fucking wild.
Do you think they make the playoffs?
So will the Canucks make the playoffs? I think they do. I think they trade for a defenseman. You don't just bring in a new GM.
Is it Chikrin?
Oh man, if you had Chikrin, that is a huge boost. But then again, you're probably giving away JT Miller. To be honest, you're sacrificing a forward.
Yeah, and then
Jacob Chikrin is on a friendly contract, and he's one of the best defensemen in the league. Like, to be honest, like at 23 years old, if you're getting a guy like that on a friendly contract, you're giving up a lot.
Didn't Chikrin play for the Junior Canadians?
Yes, he did.
But he was living in Florida or something crazy?
He has some... the story is, like, he went to Florida, played Junior Canadian... he's Canadian.
Was he flying in from Florida to play Junior Canadians?
I don't know the full story. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if maybe his parents, one of them's a U.S. citizen. That's what I'm guessing is the case. But
is he the Canucks need someone that's better in their own zone though? Do they like
Jacob Chikrin is he is supposed to be a very good defenseman as well. Okay. The problem is the Coyotes are so bad. He has to log it's tough to look at that plus minus and think that he's good defensively, but he is a very good defenseman.
Speaking of that, I'm the only one bringing this up, but when you were kids, the people who would that their parents would get divorces and move to different apartments so they could play on a different team is maybe the most wild thing to talk about.
That is like minor hockey when you can't get your release.
Yes. Imagine telling a 10-year-old kid you're not allowed to go play for another hockey team.
So you were against the releases, I'm guessing.
No, let them play wherever.
Okay,
I'm against. I'm anti that.
Yeah, golf boys through and through.
No, it's because I see it more. I guess I see it more on baseball than on hockey because I don't. It does happen in hockey too, and it's annoying.
It happens a lot in
AAA.
Who
the
play
best players.
Yeah.
I remember because at Guelph we were a horrendous AAA team at our level, and they'd always be bringing kids in from other cities. I just didn't like it when, in terms of hockey doesn't see it as much, but when they make these Ontario programs or a national program when we're 15 years old. I like the old minor hockey, the local minor hockey teams.
Yeah.
I like that way of going about it.
I agree. The only thing I have with the issue of if you let people play wherever is you would have teams that have super teams, and then the local kid kind of gets fucked over, and his parents don't want to drive elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
That's why I think of it.
So I think that's more why it's on there.
Parents split legally separating, so they can go live in another apartment.
That is crazy.
Don Mills or whatever to play for the Flyers.
That actually happens. Is wild.
Yeah, it happened.
People will
you need to reevaluate.
People would actually go under their grandparents' house address.
Yeah. It happened a lot. It's crazy that's how serious it's taken.
Yeah.
That's the big problem is that people think that where you play is going to determine how good at hockey you are.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I think a lot of people who play in the National Hockey League were almost born to play in the National Hockey League.
Because Tanev didn't even play hockey until the 11th grade, right?
Mm-hmm. He grew fucking a shit ton.
True, but it really doesn't matter where you play when you're
you're gonna get 14. Seen if
you'll play with kids who spend their entire summer on the ice, come to try out. Well, I guess usually have tryouts in the spring, but they come to the season and their game just hasn't changed at all. They're the same player because there's instincts, there's IQ on the ice that just you don't get better at those types of things.
And I think missing out on the friendships of playing with guys from your hometown too.
Yeah, it's all the time.
Yeah. Too many
but
parents.
they kind of do that junior hockey. They bond over junior hockey more than they do local hockey.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, too many parents ruin their kids' hockey career.
How about your parents? Did they ruin it?
No, they didn't ruin it. They made it fun. Let's talk about some favorite goalies of all time here. A little bit of an organic segment, but I read an article on Roberto Luongo, and it just made me think, man, he's got to be up there. That's my favorite. Just the way he is on Twitter and stuff, he was just a character and a half. Lou's got to be up there as one of my favorite goalies of all time.
Vesa Toskala I love just because of those Don Cherry end of season, the Rock'em Sock'em hockeys, because he'd be I think it's 16. I don't know what number it is. I watch some of those over and over again. You need to watch those so that you can get hyped up and ready to make some saves, because I was a goalie. You just watch the save highlights and you're ready to play in your minor hockey game.
I had the Rock'em Sock'em where the Oilers lost to Carolina, and I would play that every single time before a hockey game. That was back when the screens in the backseat of your car was a huge thing. Toss it on every single time. But I'm a huge Ed Belfour guy. Eddie the Eagle. I thought his mask was awesome. Obviously, I'm a Toronto guy, but I thought that was fun. And then Chris Osgood.
Oh yeah, anyone that time that time in hockey of those Red Wings goalies from like Hasek to him are unbelievable.
I think it was the mask,
the recklessness
though.
of those guys.
Yeah, the mask is.
And then another guy is the Fleury yellow pads growing up.
Yeah.
I don't care about the style because I never played goalie, but if you looked cool, you were an awesome goalie to me.
No,
He was
for
fun.
sure.
Oh, but the Vesatoskla thing. Don Cherry would says on one of those Rock'em Sock'ems, he says that Vesatoskla saw more pucks than a skunk on a 401 highway. It's just him making shitload of saves.
That's Don Cherry. We're gonna go. I think one full episode for you guys needs to be reacting to his mispronunciation of names.
Yeah. Oh my God. He did it on purpose. He did.
Because it's like the Starbucks thing, right? When they spell your name wrong in the cups on purpose so that you take a picture and it's like the free marketing.
Yeah.
Don Cherry did it so everyone would be like, oh, this guy's a dumbass.
Is that actually a thing?
Yeah.
Starbucks does that?
On purpose. If you could have
Reportedly.
they would spell Jeremy. Like, you can't fuck up the name Jeremy, right?
Probably put
A lot of
IE
people
at the
actually
end or
fuck it
something
up.
like
At
that.
Starbucks, probably.
Wendy's.
Who's putting your name down at Wendy's?
You do. They ask for your name at Wendy's.
Yeah,
No,
but
they
it's,
don't.
It's different. They don't.
Yes.
I'm talking about writing it on the cups. Because if they write it on the cups, right, and you take a picture and they spell Avery or they spell Jeremy or they spell Tyler wrong.
Yeah.
They're like, look at these guys, they're idiot. You post it on social media, free marketing. Like, oh, love Starbucks.
That's some crazy guerrilla marketing right there. Fuck.
Big guerrilla marketing.
Big
guy.
guerrilla marketing guy. Talking about Fleury, yellow pads. He got his 500th win. How old do you think Fleury is?
Oh shit.
It feels like he's young,
30,
but he's not.
36.
Ooh,
Or
that is-
37.
That's probably exactly right.
You don't know the answer to this?
No, I know it's 36 or 37. Eddie, can you just search up Marc-Andre Fleury? But
What?
isn't it crazy? Like, don't
wish the
I don't
big
know
man was
why.
here, he'd be
I
able
feel
to
like
tell us what
Oh, he's
draft
the
he was in.
youngest. He's one of the youngest 36-year-olds ever because I don't know what it is. I think
don't
it's his
know what it
face.
is.
He just
It's his
turned
face.
37.
Beautiful
Okay.
human being.
Oh, he's
Happy
good looking.
November 28th, 37.
His mood has never changed. Like usually you get a little older, get a little quieter. Don't want
Yeah,
to deal with the media.
I feel like he just has
Such a good guy. He's such a Marc-Andre Fleury is
Does
the
he
best.
still have that soul patch?
A little bit.
Maybe the worst facial hair of all time.
Yeah. I don't know if he does. Not the look that you're thinking of.
Oh,
to the
yeah.
degree that you're thinking
That was
of.
old
yeah.
school.
That was old school. The French, the Quebecois. They love that.
All his
He
teammates.
said he gets booed in Montreal every time he goes there, though.
Yeah, he did.
'Cause-
He did for the win though. That was nice to see.
Yeah, they were loving it.
I love the flower. Love the flower.
I kind of do wish that he was given a chance to play for Montreal.
I
In his
mean,
career.
there's still probably time, right?
Fuck, he's got to be.
Did you see
getting up
the new Habs, like whoever they hired, try to speak French?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
awesome.
hilarious.
That sounds like you, when you tell us that you went to a full French school and then you speak French like you do, that's what that reminded me of.
God damn it, Abe. I'm better than that guy. Give me a little bit of a chance. I should
Talk to the people in
You know
French.
what I should do? I should next episode I should have the script in front of me and I should have to say it
In French.
and who did it better, and we'll do side by side.
I mean, we're in Canada.
You better be able to do it better.
I mean, I should, but he's claiming that
that guy literally they threw a piece of paper in front of him of the script of what he wanted to say, and he just tried his best. Like he did no prep. There's no way he prepared for that because it was his.
He probably thinks it's dumb as shit. He's like, what the fuck? Why do I have to do this?
Say something in French to the people.
Bonjour.
he probably.
What do you want me to say, man?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Ça va?
God, I went to a full. I don't
My
know why
favorite-
you don't believe in me.
The only one I know is que je peux aller aux toilettes.
Yeah.
S'il vous
Can I go
plaît.
to the bathroom?
Yeah, and then you say it nicely. That was the one thing I knew. 4th grade, had to get out of the class no matter what. Least favorite class.
Oh my god. Are the Oilers fans losing their mind? So
I mean,
to recap,
did they see your power rankings?
Yeah, we were very hard on them on our power rankings. They've been dropping like a fly on there. But someone threw a jersey on the ice after they lost the Leafs 5-1. Obviously, people were talking about them winning. That's the thing, man. Like, a team does well over a 10-game span, and you're like, they're Stanley Cup contenders.
Yeah.
And then next week, it's like they're not even close to being Stanley Cup contenders. You're like, that's just the way the NHL works. And it's been multiple times this year with teams that
I'm pretty sure most Canadian teams have had a jersey thrown on the ice for them, and it's turned around all of. Like they've got a nice little run after
I
that.
have that. There's
Is
no
there
way
any
that there's
stats
any
backing that
back
up?
to that.
I mean, I've seen it. I saw a tweet.
You know how many
I mean, I'm
Leafs
pretty sure it's
jerseys
just
have touched the
Vancouver.
ice? Well,
One, and then they turned
really?
it around. this season.
Yeah, he is right. And Vancouver, I don't know when they actually threw a jersey.
It
on the
wasn't
ice, but
that
there
long
was.
ago.
The Leafs fans
Montreal
have thrown
though.
the jersey on the ice
Montreal
probably
got
every
it
year.
thrown. They have not turned it around.
Montreal's a poverty franchise.
Just that's just false. But
I could not believe that they are in last place and they had played more games than everybody.
they are horrendous. They're a horrendous hockey team.
I mean, we all knew that cup run was as fraudulent as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For
Credit
sure.
credit to the squad. They
Leafs
made it
should have
there.
I think it
been-
looks. Yeah. They have. I mean, the Leafs should have killed them.
I think I saw someone throw a Devils jersey on the ice last night. Do you think that holds any weight for Devils players?
No, they're probably like, what the fuck? We actually have passionate fans.
Yeah.
That's what
I should be
probably
out for that. What were we talking about though?
So throwing jerseys
Oh,
on the ice.
The Oilers. Do you think, Jeremy, that any team that spends the amount of money they do on two players can win a Stanley Cup? I don't.
Based off history and looking at teams that won, I don't think so. I mean, when have we seen it? Boston's been all on value contracts.
Boston has fleeced their players unbelievably, but they're able to spin it to say this is also good. They haven't spun it because it actually is good for the players, having them all on those team-friendly deals. But they've manipulated their minds to be like, oh, you guys, we just need to help you out. It'll help you.
The issue is when you pay two players that much money, you cannot make a single mistake with contracts, and they have
can't make mistakes drafting
They have
with your
issues.
picks, too.
Yeah, like Koskinen's getting paid way too much money for that team,
my God.
and they will never be able to add someone to that roster now because of that contract. That's decently good.
And Hyman 5'5", right?
Yeah.
You think about the guys that Tampa Bay they've drafted fantastically, right? But they've also been able to pay Vasilevsky, pay Kuznetsov, but they've drafted so well with other players. Kuznetsov. But they've also drafted so well with guys like Cirelli, with guys like Tyler Johnson, with guys like Braden Point, with that Duran trade is just one of the biggest fleece jobs.
Yeah. They got
of all time.
veterans on that team. Like you look like McDonough,
Yeah, once you get to that point where you've got all this great team with great depth, just like the Leafs have done with these veterans that want to come and play for next to nothing. So,
I'm not going to say. I think the Leafs are doing the way that team's structured isn't as bad.
Dubas did a really good job getting Bunting, Kampf, all those guys on those deals, and then Spezza and Wayne Simmons re-signed for. They're making just $1 million over what Hyman makes. I'm pretty sure 5 players.
that's the thing, is that if you're going to spend $10 million on Tavares, who's a fantastic player and can anchor your second line, then the Oilers would be better off doing something like that than they would giving $4 million to Koskinen, giving who are some other guys the Oilers have had in the past that have been terrible deals. The Neal, the James Neal, the Larson thing didn't work out. If you're going to spend $10 million on 2 players, they can't be as bad of busts as the Oilers have had.
The Hyman contract is actually working out for them. Hyman's been really good for them.
But if you look at it value-wise, the Leafs won that part of letting him go.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
No, I agree.
That was a player they could never hang on to. I can't believe there was even discussions about him sticking around. You cannot pay those types of players more than they're worth, which sucks. But that's a fact.
Do we think
someone will?
Do we think?
Yeah, somebody will.
Do we think we ever see McDavid leave Edmonton?
We saw Gretzky leave Edmonton, right?
Yeah, it depends what you mean. But if you mean ever, I think because I think maybe Crosby leaves Pittsburgh for a year.
Yeah, that's true.
And near the end of his career. So, but I think in the best years of his career, I think they'll all be in Edmonton.
Do you think he'll leave?
I don't know. I feel like at some point, he's got to get a little frustrated. That's a guy who, obviously, money's awesome, but he wants to be great and he wants to be considered.
He's thought
the
of
greatest
as
hockey player to exist. He's so talented, and I don't know. Does he have a chance with Edmonton? They're trying so hard to make that team a Stanley Cup contending team, and if it just continues to not work out, you got to think at some point McDavid's going to start to get frustrated.
Is he going to want to be part of a semi-rebuild? No team Connor McDavid is on will rebuild.
I can't remember who I argued about this with in the office, but McDavid has a massive ego. He is going to want to be known as the best player of all time, being compared to Gretzky. He wants to win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton, where Gretzky won Stanley Cups. Jack Eichel isn't nowhere near the level of player
No.
that Connor McDavid is. So him leaving him leaving Buffalo doesn't surprise me as much.
Mm-hmm.
But McDavid is on a different level that I think he's got too big of an ego to walk away from Edmonton without winning a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I could see Draisaitl getting traded. That would be crazy. But I mean, anyone
you're
who
talking
plays
about,
with
like,
McDavid,
6 years,
anyone
like-
who plays with McDavid is going to be
I mean,
good shape.
you and the big man talked about picking up Zach Cassian as a player. Like, just think about how
you play with him.
Exactly how crazy that is. How his value. You play with McDavid. You play with Ovechkin. It's those types of players. Like Michael Bunting's playing with Matthews right now, right? And nice little point streak. It's those players that just add value.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's crazy, but McDavid, I don't know, man.
Yep. Let's go a little bit on the fun side here. Bob McKenzie, big announcement that he's coming out with a new alcoholic beverage, Bobby Margaritas. We're going to play the old clip here from Twitter. Spotify guys, you'll get a little audio here. If you haven't seen it, go check out Twitter and go see the clip. We're going to have a live reaction here.
Hey there, I'm Bob McKenzie. You may know me as the original hockey insider, but you know what? That was the old me. The new me, Bobby Margarita. And ever since I became Bobby Margarita, the question I get asked all the time, and I've never answered it until now, is what's your favorite margarita recipe? So come on, I'll show you. First thing you want to do is take your blender. You see this blender? You take it and that's what you do with the blender. Too many ingredients, too much trouble. Now
You had to be a
wanna
little
sit
drunk
down,
for this.
Oh, he was
you
banged
want to
out.
get this. Bobby Margarita, Canada's best and newest ready-to-drink margarita. Available now in Alberta and in 2022, early in 2022, Ontario, Saskatchewan, and Nova Scotia. Bobby Margarita. So good. And just remember, Bobby knows best.
This is just an all-time
That's the
video.
most athletic thing I've seen Bob McKenzie do is throw that blender.
Yeah,
Just stumbled, almost fell over. Just throwing that blender. I thought he was, like, there was no recipe given in that. I thought there was going to be a little bit of a recipe.
no, he doesn't want
That's
you
the thing,
to
Jeremy.
make
You don't have to
I
worry
know,
about it. Making
we
your
got to do a
margarita, he's
live
got it for you.
taste test.
Is there
sometime.
anyone?
I'm not a margarita guy.
I don't think I am either. Is there anyone more loved in like the hockey space from our point of view than Bob McKenzie?
I think
He weirds me out.
Really?
Sorry, he doesn't weird me out. His TikTok, him having a TikTok account and them stumbling upon my For You page weirds
Well,
me
you
out.
know whose idea was
Yeah,
that.
you know whose idea that was.
Sean McKenzie.
His son.
I think it's crazy that his kid works for Sportsnet.
Yeah, it's
Like those are rivals going at it.
Yeah.
What you think you would be?
Yeah.
You think they would? You think that Sean didn't want to go to TSN because of that?
I mean,
He didn't
they
want to
do
be daddy's
two-
son?
They
Yeah,
do
like
two
you know what I mean?
different
Like he didn't
jobs,
want that
though.
love. Yeah, but you'd think TSN would offer him, give him a job in a heartbeat.
Maybe.
I mean,
You
he's
wanna-
Bob's fucking kid. Bob's a legend.
Sean McKenzie, how do you feel about his TikTok page?
Great TikTok. I know you follow it. I know you have the notifications on.
That's not true. I don't follow it. I stumble across, and I said he has a good-looking wife, and you thought that was an issue.
I didn't
And
say it was an issue. I just said that was just an odd comment. Tell me. But
I mean, we were bringing up Sean McKenzie, so I had to say something.
we're talking about his father-in-law.
There's a lot of
her father-in-law right now, Bob.
There's a lot of good-haired people covering hockey at Sportsnet.
Yes.
It's Sean McKenzie and it's Kyle Bukauskas.
And
Yes.
it's Gene Principe.
Does Gene have good hair?
No.
His hair looks like shit.
He looks like Albert Einstein.
Okay.
He is an all-time human.
Which one is Gene Principe?
Oh, he's the
Eddie,
guy
can
who's-
you bring up a picture?
He's the guy who's always making jokes. Like he's the one guy who's like,
He's nearly bald.
No.
he's got like curly ass hair.
Yeah.
I know who this. Oh my! It's the curly-headed guy. Yeah.
He's always having
Let
trying
me
to
just
have
make
fun.
sure. Yes.
Yeah.
this
It's
guy.
usually slicked back. My
Yeah,
bad.
that
That's
guy.
my bad. That guy's a veteran of Sportsnet. I knew his name. I just couldn't picture who's who.
So Abe, come April 2022, you're going to Lickbow, you're looking for a night out, and you stumble upon Bobby Margarita's like huge booth. Are you picking one up?
See, this is what I do. I get two because if we're going to Lickbow, that probably means you and I are going out drinking somewhere. So the first drink of the night is me and you going to drink a Bobby Margaritas. I know we're both not going to like them,
Okay.
but we're going to try them because of Bob.
Okay.
But am I going to pick up a 6-pack of Bobby Margaritas because I'm Going out? No, that's for sure. But if I'm at his place in Muskoka, maybe
God.
I'd rip a couple of those.
Place looks gorgeous.
Oh, it's awesome.
Nice.
No boat there though.
Yeah, I think I would give it a shot, but I mean,
We were talking about the Nelt, like
we were talking about Ace
Hill.
Yeah, Ace Hill, Ace Beverage,
former sponsor of the show,
former sponsor.
of the channel.
Channel, yes, the channel.
Hopefully,
In June.
hey,
1 month.
Bobby
Exchange
Margarita
for
would
a lot
look
of
real
booze.
good right here, eh?
Yeah.
A couple Bobby
Bobby.
Margaritas.
Hey, Bobby.
I would
how are
never
ya?
talk shit on him again. That's
No,
for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But Ace Hill does it right, and we're
Yeah.
talking about Nelk, the way they have their drink.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think approached who?
I think Ace Beverage approached Bobby. I think they approached him and said, "Look, we wanna make a drink." There's no way Bobby
Yeah.
was like, "I need a margarita drink."
I mean, it's just after
it's
he's,
weird.
Stay relevant.
he's
He wants
clearly
to-
retired.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
No, he's not retired.
Semi-retired.
Semi-retired.
Yeah.
Does he do World J's still?
Yeah. That's
World
why.
J's trade or free agency, right?
Oh, he probably does a
He does a
draft
couple
show
little
too.
things. He pretty much just said, "Yeah, I'll stick with
He
it." But
lives a great life.
he does live a great life. I mean, that house alone just looks awesome. Probably golf.
You
every
also
day in the
you also
summer.
thought that if Ace Hill approached them, you said because of Nelk, but it's obviously because of Pink Whitney, right?
No, Ace Hill. Well, I guess if you think, you're saying in the context of him of him being associated with the brand. But I think the big thing for them is that these are going to be right next to every Ace Hill drink inside of LCBO or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
place it is that people are shopping for this.
It's becoming a trend. Like a lot of these alcohol companies are starting to get a little smarter. They're using these big followings and just making them the face of the
You know what
brand.
else is a trend though, Jeremy, is people who are no longer, I don't want to say that Bobby's no longer relevant in the media, but somewhat he's retired.
Retired
This
people.
is the way that this is the thing people do. They either create a drink or a clothing line or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Biz and Witt are out of the league too, so
Yeah, got to create something to keep the cash flow coming through.
and he's sitting on his ass making this money, so
Yeah.
he's a smart one.
Hey,
I'd
it's
say.
smart. I mean, I don't think in 5 years I'm going to Lickbo and there's Bobby Margaritas sitting there.
Yeah, no,
Still, yeah.
I think this was like a little bit of a, you can use a marketing term here, but fad.
Well, you think it's fad,
I
eh?
think it's a fad.
Why not? See if it can hit though.
Yeah, that's for sure. Maybe it's fucking good tasting, but I doubt it. Talking about retirement, we're going to talk about our last topic here. Paul Maurice is officially resigning. So we don't know much information on why. We actually
I have
don't
a
know
quote.
why
I have
he's
a quote.
resigning
I have
because
a
we're
quote.
filming this on Friday. You have a quote. Avery, breaking news, has a quote.
No, it's not breaking.
It's not breaking news, unfortunately.
Okay, this is what he said.
Shocking news.
An emotional Paul Maurice. This is from Elliot Friedman.
Okay.
Another good hair. He's kind of balding. His hair is actually not that great, but letting it fly. This is a good team. I'm a good coach, but sometimes you can only push so far. Sometimes a team needs a new voice. They haven't quit on me, but need a different voice. It's the right time for it, and I know that.
Come on. Now he's, I don't know.
It honestly could be that the guy's been around the league for a long time. He could just have a feel for, how he just
Players are
he
responding.
can't motivate the guys the same way he used to, and that he knows that people have been calling for his job for a little bit, and that now he wants to just step back in his zone without getting the
In the
kicked
boot.
out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's done based off that quote. It seems like he may explore. You think he's
a
going to
good
explore?
coach.
Agreed. Yeah. I think he'll find another place, another job somewhere.
But that-
He's been on TSN, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was a little bit, or was it Sportsnet?
Doesn't matter.
He was,
I think it was
he was
TSN.
doing
I
that.
think it was
It was
TSN.
pretty short when he did it, and then he got the job with the Jets.
Let me ask you this, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Jets' window to win a Stanley Cup has already closed?
I don't think it's close. I think they have a very good team.
I think their window was. Remember when they had Morrissey? They had Morrissey, Bufflin, Trouba,
Oh man.
Myers. That defensive core was stacked. I know that was like their really early parts, like they just started to break out. I think that was their chance to win a cup. I think their window's closed. Blake Wheeler's like, isn't he old as hell?
Yeah, Blake Wheeler is.
He's having a horrendous
They
season.
do it, but the Jets have done a great job with, like you said, you name those players. Now look at the team now and look who they brought in. Like they've done a great job going from those players to the team they have now.
Yeah.
They didn't even do a rebuild. It was pretty much just those core guys. And then looking at the Patrick Laine trade, it's looking way better this year with Pierre-Luc Dubois actually playing well and showing that he could be a top 6 forward on that team. But like, I mean, you have Kyle Connor ripping it. Like the team, like if they get into the playoffs, which I think they will, like I wouldn't want to play them. They have one of the best goalies in the NHL, and then they have their decor, what they did from last year is they just brought in some veterans, and they're better than like this is a really good team. And I think Paul Maurice isn't wrong. Like I guess the way he words it, like they need a new face. I mean, and it's going to motivate the guys, and whoever they bring in, like watch out. I would be hammering the Jets once they bring in their new guys.
Torts, they bring in fucking Torts.
No,
man.
there's no. I don't think so.
PLD.
Oh my God, that would be all time.
That would be suicide watch for.
That would be.
That would be the only reason why it can't happen. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I think it would be a good idea, but it can't happen because of those two. They
really
say
can't.
they say they got along. They claim they got along, but there's no way that they would want that.
And based off what Paul Maurice just said, it's not going to be an assistant taking over. 100% not.
Why?
Well, because he said they need a new face. They need a new voice,
yeah.
right? Like it makes no sense to bring in the assistant coach to take over. It's going to be the same
I don't know.
philosophy.
Torts in another Canadian market feels like disaster.
Yeah. That would
I
be a
love
shit
Torts.
show.
I love Torts.
But hopefully we find out some more information. Maybe. But
See.
I'm
See how this
seeing.
thing- I mean,
it seems like
we're an
they
hour
just-
into it, right?
Yeah. But we'll update you guys on Twitter at Cherry Pickin. Make sure you go give it a follow, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have the normal crew back next week. Show is sponsored by Manscaped. Make sure you use code BOX. It'll get you free shipping and 20% off. See you guys.